Hello, We the People community. Just a heads up before the video starts. During our normal recording session, unfortunately we had some internet issues and we lost the video footage of like us talking and stuff. So we apologize for that mistake, guys. So in its place, however, we're going to be doing showing you gameplay of us playing League of Legends. So hopefully you all enjoy that as we talk about Square Enix, as that's going to be the precursor for our Akame Kill review episodes. So once again, sorry about the mishap, guys. Hopefully next week when we do the Akame Kill review episodes, we'll have our video footage ready to go. So once again, sorry about that, but thank you guys for understanding and enjoy the episode. Thank you. Hello everyone, welcome to We the People, a podcast dedicated to all things anime, from the perspectives of an advanced viewer, casual, and beginner. I'm your host, Daniel.
Afromoo is fucking back and in the playoffs this year. My name's Malcolm Hamilton.
Woo! I'm happy about that too. My name is Jake. No tag, no walk-in here.
Yay! In today's episode, we'll be talking about the histories and origins of Square Enix and how they relate to our next show. Watch Kill It or Akame Kill. I'll wear a Kill a Kill shirt, but
we're gonna watch Kill a Kill.
We're gonna watch Kill a Kill again. No, Akame Kill. So yeah, if you guys have any suggestions which y'all would want to see or for us to talk about, blah blah blah, please feel free to DM us on any of our social medias. And with that, I'm gonna allow Malcolm to take point on this episode. So Malcolm, Penny, take it away.
I mean, Kill a Kill and Akame Kill are pretty much the same thing because it's a girl with black hair wearing a black suit with red tints on it and has a giant sword. So
yeah, they're pretty close.
It's pretty much the exact same thing.
It's the same. It's literally the same show.
So for the uninitiated, Square Enix started off as two separate companies. You have the Enix Corporation and Square Co. Ltd. We're going to start talking about Enix first, and that was founded in 1975 under its original name, Idansha Bolshu Service Center, before the name changed to the much easier for us disgusting Americans to say Enix Corporation in 1982. And they originally published tabloids that advertised real estate. So, that is such a niche thing. How did that company turn into the big monster that it is? I don't fucking know. Just a lot of luck. Once the name change happened to Enix, they entered the gaming market by holding a computer game programming contest. So it's like that, you guys know the origin of the Nike check where they were like, oh, we're looking for a logo for our design. And then this girl drew it, got $300. Now they fucking make billions every month and she doesn't get a cut of it. They pretty much do the same shit. Yeah.
Damn.
So not ethical, but hey.
They didn't even pay any royalties or anything. It was just a lump sum of just $300.
Pretty much, yeah. Except I don't really.
Wasn't there? Didn't IBM do something similar? I thought I heard IBM, not with the logo thing, but with programming or something.
Yeah, maybe their AI thing, Watson, might have started off that way too.
Watson was.
Started by some kid or through a contest. So fun fact for everyone, just
as goes capitalism,
Yeah, don't do any contests like that because if you win, they're just gonna take your shit and not pay you.
Make sure if you read the
terms and conditions.
The terms and conditions, and make sure that you get royalties instead of just a flat sum.
Yeah, fuck. So. Lump sums are for chumps, especially if you win the lottery too. Future value versus present value. So after that, they continued to outsource more production of games, and eventually the famous Dragon Quest series came out through that method, and that was Enix's most profitable franchise. And for those of you who have never heard of Dragon Quest, that is where the character Hero comes from the latest Smash Bros. DLC
bullshit
content.
RNG.
Yeah, everybody. Is he still banned in tournaments?
I don't know. Dude, I haven't played Smash in a while. I used to play Smash every day of my life. And now that I have a full-time job, I can't devote my soul and time to it. So
yeah, this is Daniel Studley saying we're going to start a Patreon so y'all can help support us.
So yeah, please.
So Daniel can be a non-problematic professional Smash Bros. Character.
Yeah,
performer. Bro. Yikes.
I didn't know how deep down the rabbit hole we wanted to go, but it was crazy just like how fast that snowball went of like,
oh yeah, dude.
It turns out the whole community is a bunch of fucking dirty people.
Nasty pedophile.
Yo.
Holy
What
shit.
the fuck?
Yo, that was wild. Yeah, in case y'all don't know what we're talking about, check out you can go like to the Smash Bros subreddit or just look up literally like Smash Bros not conspiracy, but I'm trying to think of like the word.
Controversy, probably.
Controversy.
Probably. Yeah.
Yes. About what just happened recently.
A lot of grooming. A lot of pedophilia.
Yeah, the speed at which that community fell apart was record breaking. Like within 2 hours, I was like, everyone gone.
The crazy part was just like how all encompassing it seemed. It was like, like a good portion. Like I know people that were doing this. Like that's. Can you imagine if like all of League of Legends was like that, or like
you heard it here first, folks.
You heard it here first, folks.
We got the inside scoop. But back to Square Enix. In 1988, Enix launched its publication business in conjunction with establishing another subsidiary called Enix Products.
Subsidiary.
Subsidiary. Oh, sorry. Yeah, for you lawyers out there, Enix Products is a wholly owned subsidiary, not a separately standing LTD, LLC. What are those other ones?
There you go, Malcolm.
Private equity firms. Yeah. I'm smart.
There you go, buddy.
Yeah. It began publishing manga under its own shonen magazine called Monthly Shonen Gangan, which is similar to that of Shonen Jump if you've ever been to a Barnes & Noble while your dad talks to his buddy for 2 hours and you read the entire magazine front to back. Just me?
Just you, bud.
Just me.
Just you.
Is this very similar to like Nintendo Power?
Basically, it's like their manga version of that. Like that's like a very like big thing over there. Yeah, Shonen Jump is I'm using Shonen Jump in this case, but like Shonen Jump is where big names such as like Naruto come out and any like other big shonens, Dragon Ball Z, what have you. And, like they would just like showcase, these are the big manga that are out or big anime or whatever. So,
gotcha.
And instead of being like a manga book where it's got like 7 to 8 different chapters in it, it's just one chapter per month or per week. So the story takes a lot longer to get through than a whole anime, but that's how things used to work back then. Oh yeah.
Back in my day.
You didn't get that. You didn't get that Netflix drop where you just binge the whole thing.
Yeah.
I do remember that there were a lot of magazines that there was like continuing comics between the issues of the magazines, and you had to wait a significant amount of time before those releases. I remember there was one, and I only picked up like a couple editions, but it was for Star Wars. Like they had extended universe mags, and it was like all about like Vader between like Ep 3 and Ep 4, and just like all the crazy stuff he was doing with like the 501st. And the comics were like dark, like DC, like Dark Knight dark. And they were really good, and they continued between the magazines. But yeah, you had to wait like a month between to actually like read the story and see how it developed. So I can't imagine that format being successful, but I guess we were a lot more patient back in the day.
Oh yeah, we didn't have Twitter.
But even nowadays, it's still like a big thing. Like I know for a long while, I mean, Attack on Titan, the manga, I used to read it. They would only come up with one chapter, and it was like 49 pages, which is a decent amount in manga consideration. Because usually, like, the usual format, not to deviate too much from our topic, but like, is each chapter, like, for My Hero Academia, for example, they come out with a manga chapter each week, and it's 18 pages approx. But for Attack on Titan and other mangas, that might not be the case. Maybe it's like 49 pages. But it's only like you get it once, and it could be sometime in the middle of the month or whatever, and then you have to wait a whole another month until you get it again. And like for me, who has terrible memory, like I would read it, and I go to the next chapter. I was like, dude, what happened in the last chapter? I don't even remember. And then that just happened so often that I was like, I'm just gonna stop reading because like I can't. So.
And now he's anime exclusive.
Yeah. Oh god. No, I still read manga, but it has to be for manga. It has to be completed for me, or near completion. Well, continue, Malcolm.
Thanks. After Monthly Shonen Gangan started, Enix merged Gun. I don't honestly. I don't know. Gun Gang.
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 Gang. See, it comes again, bro.
Always. They merged the Enix products with Enix Corporation, along with another one that I couldn't find any info about called Konica Enix, which sounds like a photography thing. But they merged themselves into one big Enix Corporation and eliminated the whole subsidiary stuff. And moving on to Squareco, it was founded in 1986, and Squaresoft Inc. was established as a subsidiary of subsidized. It was subsidiary of Squareco in 1989. The guy who founded Square was the son of the owner of a power line construction company who created a computer game software division, I guess just for fun, because he had enough money.
Because he had money.
Yeah.
Step 1, get an inheritance from your family of over $1 million. Step 2, make a business. See, guys, it's easy.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. A small loan of $1 million, or have your parents float you some money, like a cool $300,000, as Amazon's caving in and prop you up, and now you're a billionaire. That's ROI,
see?
baby.
Step 4, murder all mom and pop business shops.
Yikes.
All of them.
Step 5, 2-day delivery.
And now that I mentioned that Square was founded by the son of a power line construction company, the entire plot of Final Fantasy VII is going up against a power company and their corporation and how they're capitalistic.
Kid had some dad
this
issues.
Dude just hated his dad. Yeah, pretty bad, pretty fucking bad. What set Square apart was that they believed that games shouldn't be created by one programmer, but it should have graphic designers, programmers, and professional story writers. So back in the day, you would just be one guy, and you would spend 2 to 3 years making this game. You'd put it out to the editor. If the editor said it's good, they pump that shit right out. So it's pretty much exactly like Bandersnatch, but IRL. If you've seen the Bandersnatch. What?
I did not get to. That was the only Black Mirror thing I haven't been caught up on.
Yeah, if you want to learn how games are produced back in the game, watch Bandersnatch. So once they got all 3 of those people, the graphic designers, programmers, and story writers together, Square broke off from the construction company to become its own Squareco and relocated to Ueno, Tokyo, and developed the very first Final Fantasy game a year after creating unsuccessful games for the Famicom system. So you had Dragon Quest with Enix and then Final Fantasy with Squareco. And Squareco also went on to create other games like Chrono Trigger, Secret of Mana, Super Mario RPG, and the main one, Kingdom Hearts. The one that me and Daniel have wasted approximately 20 years of our life following.
And I have to put my plug in now because I always talk about this game. Final Fantasy Tactics Advance was created and published by Square, now Square Enix.
When did
fantastic
that come out?
Game? That came out, let's see here.
Because it might have been Square Enix.
Release date was in 2003. They said it was published by Square.
Yeah, the merger
but
happened
I'm pretty
in 2003,
sure I saw that.
So.
Yeah, because it was weird.
Okay.
It was developed by Square, but on the publishing, on the pictures, it says Square Enix. So I bet you it was in-house, and then when the merger happened, it was all the IP just got looped in together. So
Right,
Square Enix
okay.
got credit for Square's work on that game.
Exactly, yeah. Same with Kingdom Hearts. I was I know the first thing you see when you turn on the game is Squaresoft, but then also on the box it says Square Enix, and I was what the fuck? Were those 2 different things? But we're about to get there.
That's funny. That's funny. I will say, all right, this will be my only other plug. Go on the Google Play Store, download My Boy if you have an Android.
Oh, yeah,
Go grab a zip file, get a ROM copy of Final Fantasy Tactics Advance. You can play this game for free now. Go do it. I believe in you.
Hey,
Best
real
of luck.
quick sidebar, are ROMs illegal?
Follow us on Jake's
game?
Let's Play.
ROMs are not illegal.
Oh, okay. Well,
ROMs are just bits and bytes.
I bought a 3 terabyte
But
hard drive to store our
if
podcast
I'm-
stuff,
if
so I
I-
might also put a bunch of games on there. I think Jake's
So
Googling.
one thing,
Just checking. Emulators are legal to download and use. However, shared copyrighted ROMs online is illegal. Okay, so what I'm saying is go get the MyBoy emulator. Definitely get the legal ROM and download that wherever you can find that legally. Don't illegally download the ROM. Don't do it.
There you go. So fun fact, Chrono Trigger is
don't do it.
Is from the same drawer as I think it's from the same, I don't know if it's from the same creator, but the illustration for sure is the same as Dragon Ball Z. So fun fact, yeah.
And they haven't remade Chrono Trigger yet, so like if you want to play that game, you're gonna have to drop like a solid at least hundo just to buy an original copy of that stuff.
Wait, Chrono Trigger, was this the game that was in the arcades that had like the it was like a little feedback haptic gun, and it was like a laser like you shoot on the screen and you like duck behind things and reload?
No,
I don't think so.
I don't think so. No, because it's like it's a RPG.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's where like the chocobos come from, I believe.
Okay. Because chocobos are in Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
Yeah, the main character has I think it's like something about time and bullshit like that. I haven't played it myself.
Yeah.
Just I know it's like the same animation style as Dragon Ball Z, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
So
what was that game? It was Chrono something. Oh, it was Time Crisis. It was Time Crisis.
That's what it is. Yeah, dude, I wasted so many fucking
Chrono
hours.
Time. It's the time reference. Yeah.
Okay, Echo.
There you go.
Okay, cool. All right. Sorry for all of the sidebars.
It's all good. Now we're gonna move on to the
Just
merger.
press R. Everything's fine.
Press R. We're back on track. In 2001,
the merger, the Japan merger.
The Japan merger. Yeah, they merged with America.
Cody will get that little hot take. We always joke about some like crazy work busyness, and like we're just like, oh no, I'm just super slammed. You know, the Japan merger.
You nerds.
You know, this is actually nice that like I'm taking a seat back as Malcolm does like the whole talking, because it gives me a different perspective of how to kind of formulate and then talk about things and keep a discussion going.
Yeah.
I feel like we're just ignoring you on purpose.
It's nice to take... No.
What's up, bro?
We didn't. We were waiting for you to come back.
Oh.
Yeah, because you had DC.
Oh, I was here the whole time.
Yeah, the entire... Oh, imagine he was like talking this entire time. He gave his whole spiel. He finished...
Okay, yeah, you definitely froze.
Right at the merger
I interrupted
part.
about the Japan merger, and then that was pretty much where you froze.
So getting back on topic with the Square Enix merger, in 2001, both companies weren't doing too hot financially because Enix had delayed the release of 2 Dragon Quest games, which meant that one of them was supposed to come out in 1999. So it didn't come out until 2000. So their quarterly earnings from 1999 looked like absolute dog shit, even though the game did come out and do well in 2000. So like the company couldn't report that things were going right because they fucked up there. And the reason why Square wasn't doing too hot financially is because they made a Final Fantasy movie called The Spirits Within. And that fucking flopped. It was their first...
AK, we don't talk about it. We don't even know what that is. What are you even talking about?
Yeah, I have no clue. I've never heard of this game.
Never heard of it.
Or a movie, right?
Yeah, it's a movie based off a game. Yeah.
Okay.
It was the first ever photorealistic computer animated feature film, making it the most expensive video game inspired film until Prince of Persia came out in 2010. So for 10 years, they were like, we made the most expensive video game movie, suck my dick. Oh my God, it took us $137 million to make it, and we only got $85 million back. Oof. That feels real bad. Yeah.
Like, that feels bad, bro.
$50 million just tanked.
That negative ROI, dude.
And, like, it had a bunch of potential because, like, Alec Baldwin, Donald Sutherland, and Steve Buscemi were in it. So you'd think, like, people would come out the fucking gates to come see that shit.
The Buscemi?
The Buscemi. Steven Buscemi.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And
Yikes.
It took 200 people using 960 different workstations to render the film, and it took them 4 years. So, like, the amount of sunk cost and, like, wasted time that went into this movie is just heartbreaking. So we could have had a bunch of, like, real badass Final Fantasy movies, but this one flopped, so thanks.
I think it might have been a case of just, honestly, it was too early. It came before its time was ready.
Yeah.
And because it's like that whole conundrum of wanting to send a spaceship out into like the deep reaches of space, because it's like you get to a point where it's like, oh yeah, well, if we send a spaceship now, okay, sure, it will like fly, but then in the next 10 years we'll have a spaceship that'll send out, and then we'll pass that spaceship, so what's the point of even doing it? So
yeah, you got to think really far ahead. I think this is a perfect example. There's a really good video essay that talks exactly about this scenario. It's regarding the Disney movie Treasure Planet.
Yeah.
And it talks about why Treasure Planet was such a flop.
Even though it was such a great movie. Like,
it was a great movie. On paper, it was a flop because they spent so much money on the technology. They called it Deep Canvas. It was a very new piece of technology, and they did a lot of their movie in Deep Canvas, which was a new like animation style, where it cost them just a ton. It's brand new. They had to do a lot of in-house development. So when you look at something like it's like first photorealistic computer animated feature film, like I look at that and go, oh, cool. So they were the pioneers that paid way too much money.
Absolutely,
for this. Yeah, and that'll happen.
Later down the road, we got Final Fantasy VII Advent Children, which was another movie that they made, which like did so much better. But they were the first ones to stick their neck out, and they got beheaded by Capital America and all that stuff. But luckily, Final Fantasy was enough to keep the company afloat, and Sony bought a 19% stake in the company to help offset the gigantic loss of that movie. And I guess using that as a jumping point, one of the biggest critiques of Square is that it relied way too much on Final Fantasy to stay alive. So they sought to change that, and that's where Kingdom Hearts was born. Kingdom Hearts and Final Fantasy X helped Square recover from the loss of the movie and stabilize the company in 2002. And negotiations between Square and Enix started in 2000, but then because of their hot financial fuck-ups, they kind of were like, ooh, I don't know if we want to merge with like a failing company.
Yikes.
Yeah, first Enix was like, ooh, we delayed it. And then Square was like, no, we have the high ground. And then the movie flopped and Enix was like, no, we have the high ground. And yeah.
Call the ambulance, but not for me.
Exactly. So in 2003, the merger was complete and Square Enix Co. Ltd. was formed. From there, they acquired a bunch of different corporations and partnerships with the likes of Intel and Panasonic to produce a bunch of games and a bunch of other shit that's just way too extensive and I don't want to point out. And another company that they bought out was a giant. There's, I guess, one major company that makes all the arcade games, like all the physical boxes that you would play at the arcades, like your Chuck E. Cheese's and Dave & Buster's. Yeah. And they bought that out. So if you go to an arcade now, you're probably playing on a Square Enix product. Little fun fact there.
The more you know.
Yeah. So.
Yo, I will always okay, this is a little side detail.
Is it TMNT?
But there's this badass Fate Grand Order arcade game that's out. Oh my god. But because arcade is not a big thing here in the States, in the West, and it literally is only in Japan, I'll never get to play it. And I'm like, dude, it looks pretty decent. They like put in so much stuff into the game, and I'm like, oh, that's I'm like fucking Squidward looking at SpongeBob and Patrick running around, dude.
Out the window.
Oh god.
Start your own arcade bar, dude. Those are hot.
Oh shit, dude.
Yeah.
That's it, bro.
Weeb the People Arcade Bar. We'll drop the podcast, make more money exploiting nerds.
Yep. We'll do the exploiting nerds.
That's our tagline.
We know how to do it.
What is it that, once again, another SpongeBob reference? It's like the one guy that's like interviewing Mr. Krabs. He's like, what motivates you?
Money.
That'll be us after we hit that 100 episode. We're just gonna be like, oh, if you want to keep listening, it'll be $5 a month. Thanks
a lot, nerds.
So based off the merger, they wanted to diversify their portfolio. So the business model of Square Enix is now centered on polymorphic content, which is a fancy way of saying developing franchises on multiple hardware or media rather than a single gaming platform. And one of the earliest examples of this is how they took the series Full Metal Alchemist, which started as a manga published in that Gongan magazine that we talked about earlier, Gone Gone. And now it has 2 TV series, 2 movies, a whole bunch of novels, and a bunch of video games. Yeah, and the former president of Square Enix, his name was Yoichi Wada. He once said, "It's very difficult to hit the jackpot, as it were, and once we've hit it, we have to get all the juice possible out of it." So they milked that cash cow hard. And it worked for Full Metal Alchemist, because now everyone's like, that show fucking slaps. I'll buy anything Full Metal Alchemist.
Bro, I will say, though, for Full Metal Alchemist, in case y'all don't know, there's 2 different series. There's Full Metal Alchemist and there's Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Whereas Full Metal Alchemist came out when the manga was still ongoing. So then what ended up happening was that series had to diverge from the original source material. And a lot of people didn't like where it went. But then Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood came out, and that was completely faithful to the original source material, and that was way better received. Like, in my personal opinion, too, anecdotal evidence, I prefer Brotherhood, like, way better, way more than the original Full Metal Alchemist, but fun fact.
Yep, and Akame ga Kill kind of has that too, because we'll talk about it later, but it was coming out while the manga was still being written.
Correct.
So the endings are different, but Akame ga Kill does not have a second. Akame ga Kill Brotherhood does not exist. Let's put it that way.
Unfortunately. Because, I think it's like around episode 19 out of the 26 that they diverge. Because I've seen Akame ga Kill, and then I've read the manga as well. And it's 2 completely different endings. And I don't want to get too into it, too spoilery, until we actually do our review about it. But, it's literally the last, 7 episodes make it so that the 2 entities, I guess, are like completely different, completely different. So.
Did they kill Hitler in the end?
Oh shit!
Yeah, Chrono Trigger, Akame ga Kill.
Okay.
Assassins,
just curious,
murdering bad people in history. That's a show I'd fucking watch.
Assassin's Creed.
Is that what that game? Right? Is that what that's about?
Pretty much.
I've never played a single one of those games.
Well, it's like that's too simple to say that it's just that.
Yeah, it's like it's really in there, and I don't feel like going in there in that rabbit hole today. So
we'll do another Senpai Suggest on Assassin's Creed.
Assassin's Creed.
Y'all are fucking nerds, and I'm going to exploit the shit out of you.
It's so good. Oh man, Assassin's Creed 2 is like the best game, probably the best game on the PS3 that I played.
Ezio Auditore.
You got to play it, Malcolm. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, Malcolm's like, I don't get
any of these references. Yeah, I'm going to get a legal ROM somehow of that and play it.
Yeah, get a legal
on my
ROM.
Shit computer. Yeah.
But simulate it in the Game Boy environment. I'm sure it'll work well.
Yeah, simulate it on your smartwatch.
Gross. But going back to our podcast's main focus, anime. Currently, Square Enix's properties include video games, game engines, online gaming.
Oh, it's because he says engineers.
Yeah, I
fucking property.
I literally wrote this at 2 a.m. on a Saturday morning. So there's a bunch of typos on a Tuesday. So back to the beginning of the list: video games, game engines, online gaming, arcade games, film, manga, and merchandise. Its current manga publishing division is called Gongan Comics, which was based off that magazines that we talked about earlier. And they also publish in a bunch of different magazines aimed at different demographics. So you've got your shonens, you got your shoujos, you got your old people stuff, you got your baby comics, you got your dog comics, you got your Heathcliffs, your Garfields. But those magazines publish popular titles such as Full Metal Alchemist, Soul Eater, Kakegurui, Space Dandy, which if you watch that show on Toonami, fucking slapped. And the show that we're going to watch next week, Akame ga Kill. So a bunch of popular shit was published through Square Enix, surprisingly, which like I didn't even know they had a manga division until I started doing this research. And I'm like, oh, they put out a bunch of bangers, video games and otherwise.
Yeah, man. It's good stuff, bro.
And I've started watching Akame ga Kill, and I'm on episode 10, and I'm like, yeah, this feels like a Final Fantasy type manga anime series.
It's definitely like I know it's like I consider it a seinen. I definitely do. It's darker, it's grittier than your average thing. I guess it's just like the main protagonist is a shonen type-esque character.
Yeah.
But once again, I don't want to spoil everything because this will be my second rewatch of the show. But oh man, I love this show. I've been trying to get Jake and Malcolm to watch this for the past like 3 years that we've been doing this podcast.
After we watched fucking One Punch Man, he was like, "So Akame ga Kill?" And I was like, "Hold on."
And they were like, "Nah, bro."
No. Next week for sure, bud.
Yeah. So
it got the Avatar treatment, but Avatar got
it really
first.
did.
Yeah,
it did.
Yeah.
Oh.
So we won't be seeing Avatar for the next 5 years, guys. So it feels
Sorry
good.
about that.
Jake's like, no.
Over my dead body. We are watching season 2.
Yeah. Don't worry, boys. Our next show watch will be Fate. So we have a whole world to discover.
That's a year of our life gone.
I'm so ready, bro.
When are we going to watch One Piece?
Over my dead body.
So anyway, back to the podcast.
Fucking body. Back to Akame ga Kill. It was first published in 2010 and it ended its run in 2016. It was originally going to be an all-female band of assassins who capture the protagonist boy and make him work for him, which sounds like just a nasty man trying to get some nasty fantasies out. But luckily, that's not the end product. That was in 2007 when that female band assassin idea was set out, but it kind of sat on the shelf until the company could achieve serialization for the comics, or not the comic, the manga. Sorry, my American slipped.
Filthy.
The writer, whose name is Takahiro, I don't think he has a first name, or at least Wikipedia didn't tell me. Okay.
Yeah, it's a pen name.
Mark Twain.
Moshi Mosh.
Hello, Mark Twain.
Hello, Takahiro. What's up, bro?
What's up, dog? But between 2007 and 2010, Takahiro published 2 other titles, and that's when he met the illustrator Tetsuya Toshihiro, who helped Takahiro develop the plot for the manga. And currently, there's a prequel for Akame ga Kill called Akame ga Kill 0, and there's a sequel manga, Hinowa ga Crush.
Yes. But
neither have an anime attached to them yet, so we're not going to be watching them anytime soon.
Bro, I've read Akame ga Kill 0, super good. Read Akame ga Kill, super good. I haven't read Hinowa ga Crush. I think the last time I watched Akame ga Kill was like 5 years ago. So when I read all this and watched all of this, yeah, it's been a hot minute. So yeah, when I first finished the series, I think there was like talks about Hinowa ga Crush, and then, you know, obviously it's time's passed, so I'm like, oh shit, it's like finally out. So yeah, I want to definitely check that out in the near future. But yeah, the only one that has an anime is Akame ga Kill.
Right, and the anime for Akame ga Kill started airing and eventually got ahead of the manga, so around episode 19, like we talked about earlier, the story diverges from the manga. I haven't gotten that far, so I'm not going to spoil it, but I did, like, 2 words after I read that part on Wikipedia, it was like, it diverges from episode 19, and adds a bunch of differences, like blank, and I was like,
yep.
Get the fuck out.
Yep.
I got out so fast. I did catch one of the words that came after that, and I was like, ugh,
yikes.
Fuck me in the asshole.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the price that I pay for you, the fans, so feels bad.
I know, I didn't get to write this week's episode just because of, unfortunately, work. But so props to Malcolm for taking the lead on that one. Mm-hmm. But then when I was reading the show notes and I saw that Malcolm did that, and I was like, damn it, bro, I'm so sorry. Like, oh.
I think I'll live because I don't know when it's gonna happen or how it's gonna happen, but man,
okay.
I already know I'm gonna cry. The manga was critically received. All 5 volumes of its English translation have appeared on the New York Times manga bestsellers list, and Volume 1 was ranked number 1 for 3 weeks, and Volume 1 stayed on the list for 12 non-consecutive weeks, which is pretty much the exact same time that we've been in quarantine. So imagine this entire time, 1 volume of manga was number 1 on the list, and that was Akame ga Kill at the time, back in 2000.
I'm telling you guys, it's really good, and y'all been ignoring me, so...
That's my bad, I guess.
Whatever. Yeah, so like I said, I mentioned before, I'm not going to go too far into it, but they have 2 wildly different endings. Like, oh my god, I can't wait to talk about it next week when we dive into it, just because, or I guess, not next week, because we won't get there, but the week after that.
Yeah, the ending.
Yeah, the ending, because we'll split it up into 2 different parts since it's 24 episodes, something, or 26 episodes.
24.
It's 24 or 26?
24. Hulu says it's 24.
Really? Oh, okay. Then yeah, 24. So yeah, but if
you've been watching the Secret 2 Lost episodes.
Exactly.
one
The
where they kill
extended director's cut version.
I thought it was really weird where some of the main characters slammed the other ones with a court order, and the whole divorce proceedings, really a dark timeline. Yeah.
Oh my god. But yeah, so if you're interested in that, and if you watched the anime series but haven't read the manga, and you're willing to dive into that spoiler territory before we get into it in the next couple of weeks, yeah, go for it. So it's wild how different the endings are. So there you go.
No, that's all I got.
Anything else? Nice.
I ruined myself. Fucking Wikipedia, you can eat my asshole.
Dude, that was me. That was me in God of High School, bro. I was doing the research for this show, and then I was like, "Oh, let's see what it's." Like
okay. You can tell us that it diverges from the story without fucking spoiling it for everyone. Like,
right? Be
and
like,
this is why.
Yeah, very, very significant plot points are different in the stories, and then it like links the two threads, and like you can look at their plots here.
That would be nice.
But no,
would be so nice.
Oh my god.
All right. Well, do you have anything else to mention about Square Enix, the history of Square Enix, or anything about Akame Kill before we wrap it up?
I am a Square Enix fanboy, so I might be a little biased about this show. Just gonna throw that out there.
Square Enix is great. Again, go play Final Fantasy Tactics Advance, get a Vera, and legally. Get a Vera and make the Assassin's class. It is a very hard class to make, but once you get it, the game is basically over because you are OP. It's very fun.
It's like the one person you get in every Final Fantasy game that's like unclassed, but you can like pick whatever class they turn into, and they're super OP that class.
Yes.
Do that.
Yeah, it's very much like you'll go through every little class type, and you have to like get them trained up in a certain number of skills for each of these classes, and then this new class appears, and you're like, oh, assassin? Sweet. And you like switch them over to that, and then it's just like, it's game over. It's done.
It's like in Fire Emblem 3 Houses. Just make everybody a Wyvern Lord, and you're good to go. You'll beat anything.
Yeah.
Because see, that class is so busted. Like,
it really
it's actually dumb how busted, because unlike the other previous versions, in this one you could actually demount. The fact that you can demount changes. It's game changing.
Like they're weak against arrows, but then let me just get off my dragon.
It's like, oh, just kidding. I'm not.
Hey, go to Chili's and enjoy a presidential margarita on me. I got this.
Welcome to Chili's.
Hi, welcome to Chili's.
This is my
word. Well, I'm done.
All right, yeah. Before we just drag this shit on, we would like to thank Joakim Karud for the use of his music in our podcast. The intro is Dreams and the outro is Lowrider. Links to his contact info will be in our show notes. If you enjoy listening to us, please make sure to rate us on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play. And in case you all haven't been checking out, we've done a massive revamp of our YouTube channel, which is Weeb the People Podcast. We've been doing video formats of that. We've started since episode 87.5, Set by Suggests. So we've been testing it out. So if you prefer video format over podcast format, that's fine. Just go check out our YouTube channel, Weeb the People Podcast. There you can comment, you can talk to us, see how you like the video. If you have any suggestions on what we can maybe change up or maybe add into our videos, let us know. But yeah, check it out on YouTube or wherever you listen to podcasts. Check out our website, weebthepeople.com. Make sure to follow our Twitter handle at weeb_the_people. Facebook page, Weeb the People and Anime Podcast. And finally, our Instagram, Weeb the People Podcast. And if you have any questions, please feel free to DM us on any of those social medias or email us at weebthepeoplepodcast@gmail.com. Thank you guys so much for listening. I am your host that finally got his wish of watching Akame Kill next week done, Daniel.
Please come up to Washington Whataburger. My name's Malcolm. I'm begging.
If you are going to make the assassin class, make sure that sharpshooter is your second class so that you can do conceal moves and mask your movements before the kill. My name is Jake.
This has been Weeb the People, and have a great Weeb Need.